Hey guys, it is Michelle, and I have finished 3 more books, so I'm here to discuss them with you. First up, I picked up The Shadow Society by Marie Rutkoski. She is the author of The Winter's Curse and The Winter's Crime, and coming next year, the conclusion to the trilogy, The Winter's Kiss, which I am very much looking forward to. But this was an earlier book she had written, and I got it really cheap off of bookoutlet.com. Your main character is Darcy, and she has been in foster care since the age of 5. She is in the first foster home where she's starting to kind of come into her own and feel comfortable. And she's actually starting the school year at the same school as she did last year, which was like a record for her. So things are going well. And on the first day of school, there's a new kid, and he is just glaring at her, and she has no idea why. It turns out she's living in Chicago, and there's an alternative version of Chicago. That's where he's from, and crazy stuff starts to happen after she figures that out. She starts to have some memories from before she was in foster care, which she hadn't had previously, and things just get kind of weird. The characters in this are really great. You're really cheering for Darcy. Marie Rutkoski does a great job of presenting characters in one light, but then as you learn more, you kind of have a different perception of them, so I love that about them. There's one side character in here that's a friend of Darcy's that just steals every scene that he is written into. It's just hilarious. I will say that the world building in here was not exactly my favorite, and some things went unexplained, but they weren't like super detrimental to the story. On Goodreads, I ended up giving this 4 stars, but in my head it's more of a 3.5. But I know the issues that I had with this book, she resolves in her later books, and I didn't see those issues at all. So I think it was just her learning curve showing, so it was kind of neat to see that. But the characters make this worth reading. Again, 4 stars on Goodreads. Next up, I read The Humans by Matt Haig. And this is about a race of aliens who monitor human mathematics. They don't want us to get too advanced in our mathematics because it threatens them as a race. Well, Professor Andrew Martin, who is at Cambridge University, makes a huge mathematical breakthrough. And they know about it, and they send an alien to Earth. And basically, he kills Dr. Andrew Martin and takes over his body and his life in the hopes that they can cover up the discovery and keep anyone from knowing it, and therefore keep themselves from being threatened. And it is hilarious because this alien's look at human society is just crazy funny. And at the same time, he falls in love with humans, and he's defending humans to his race of aliens and trying to explain what makes humans so great and so awesome. And it's just one of those books that's touching and endearing and wonderful. It's but not the best book I've ever read, but it's a book that I think I could read again and again and again in my life because of the tone of it and because of the message of it. I'm kind of that way with movies too. There are movies I can watch over and over and over again that I wouldn't necessarily say are great pieces of film. For instance, Michael, that starred John Travolta several years ago as an angel, or Saving Grace, about an old lady who starts selling drugs because her husband dies and leaves her destitute. Those are just kind of movies I can watch over and over, and I could see myself reading this book over and over, which I never would have guessed going in, but I really enjoyed it and gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. Probably closer to a 4.5 for me. And the third book I want to talk about in this set is Take Me With You by Catherine Ryan Hyde. I love Catherine Ryan Hyde books. There's something about her writing. It's just like a soothing balm. I kind of know what I'm going to get. I kind of know what the tone's going to be. I know it's going to be touching, and that is just really what I wanted to read. I picked this book up, got like 20 to 30% into it, and kind of put it down for a little while, and then picked it back up, and I just needed a little break from it. But essentially, your main character is August, and he's probably in his 30s or 40s when the story begins. And his 19-year-old son has died in a car crash, and he's having trouble dealing with that. He is a high school science teacher, so he has summers off, and he and Philip had planned to go to Yellowstone that summer. So he's still going, and he's taking part of Philip's ashes with him to scatter at Yellowstone. Along the way, his RV breaks down, and he's not going to be able to afford the repair and still make it to Yellowstone. The man that's repairing his RV is in a kind of a prickly situation himself, and he tells August, this is going to sound crazy, but maybe we could make this work. So he fixes August's RV for free if August will take his sons with him for 3 months while he has to serve a prison sentence for a fairly minor thing that he has done. So it was just wonderful as August is going through the grieving process, but also bonding with these two young kids. And it's just phenomenal. I teared up several times during it, never really actually cried, but it was just touching. And the ending I never saw coming. It kind of jumps in time 8 years forward. And it was just phenomenal, and I super enjoyed it and ended up giving it 4 stars as well. So 4-star average for this set of 3 books, and just can't ask for more. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading.